just before the tarmac path finishes and we approach the flares. This is the Maiden's Castle. Just a mound here, just off to the right of the path. I've no idea what the history of that is, whether there was a castle there or not, but it's referred to as the Maiden's Castle. Here's a good view of the flares. Proper name Carrowhue Bay, but known to locals as the Flares, with the caves at the far end, the dark cave and the light cave, accessible when the tide is out. So I'm going to continue down onto the Flares and have a walk along the beach, and there's a path up at the very end, up to the left, onto the cliff top again to Auchmithie. Alternatively, you can keep straight on into Seaton Den. You've got to go down into Seaton Den, cross the burn at the bottom, up the other side, and then along the top of the cliff. There's a reasonable path runs along the shoreline, a bit eroded in places, but not too bad. That's Seaton Den up above me there now. You can go up the path there and across the den to the other side onto the cliff top there, and then straight along. But there's a good path recently made that can take you back onto the cliff top again once we get to the caves. This is further along the beach. That's the new path up onto the cliff top I was talking about, and just round here to the right of it there's a cave. This is the Hermit's Cave. Reputed that a hermit lived here many years ago, and just round you get good views of the dark cave and the light cave. That's the dark cave on the left and the light cave on the right, only accessible when the tide is out, and you can go right through to the other bay. So you scramble over some rocks to get to the cave. This is the dark cave, so I'm just about to enter now and go through to the other side. That's me at the other side, and this is the view from the cave exit. The cave rises to the middle. It's better to go very slow and hold on to the right hand side because it's very, very dark. The vegetation's still a bit high, but just at the exit from the dark cave there's a path goes up to the left and round about 20 paces, and you come to what's called the Forbidden Cave. The Forbidden Cave is in there. I'll not go today because the vegetation's still a bit long. So that's the exit from the dark cave, and just left that's the Forbidden Cave in there. Quite a difficult cave to get into, a narrow entrance and muddy going down the slope. And just along here we can see the remains of a tractor that came right over the cliff. There's the cliff. This was in the 1940s. The tractor came right over the cliff, and the chap of course was killed. That's the remains, just a few wheels and some rusty bits left. So I'm returning back to the Flares via the light cave. This is the entrance to the light cave, and there's been some erosion here due to the recent rainfall that illustrates just how dangerous these cliffs actually are. So I came out of the light cave. These caves are about 50 to 70 metres long. Came out the light cave, walked along the beach at the Flares, and now I'm on the path that leads up to the main good path that goes all the way to Auchmithie, at the top of the cliff head there. That's me at the top now, out of breath, and it meets this main path here that goes all the way to Auchmithie. So I'll take that path now. That's me on the good path to Auchmithie now, and I'm looking down at the entrance to the dark cave. The wind's got a bit strong. Nearly quarter of a mile, half a mile along the path, you come to this bit in the middle of the field. This is called the Gailey Pot. So I'll go over there now and give you a view of what it's like. This is the far end of the Gailey Pot, looking out towards the sea. It's a huge hole. The sea comes in about 100 yards underneath the field into this large sort of quarry. You can see the sea down there. You can actually get down there as a path of a sort, but it is quite dangerous, not advisable. A very short distance from the Gailey Pot you come to Castlesea Bay, which is just near to Auchmithie, and down on the beach you see the remains of a minke whale. The carcass is there. It was washed ashore quite a number of years ago and it's just the carcass that's left. And the village itself is just above the cliff top there. So that's Castlesea Bay. To the right, on top of the cliff, is the Coast Guard houses, and then the village is just to the left. Then just along the path we come to Tangle Ha. You can either keep straight on and go back to Seaton Woods, or that way, or follow the main path that goes to the village. So I'll follow the main path. This is looking along Castlesea Bay from the other end. The whales at the far side of me. And the Coast Guard houses are just along the path there. I'm just the way to approach them now. These are the old Coast Guard houses, now privately owned. And this is looking north of the village to the cliffs, which are still quite rugged. The path comes out to the main road by the old schoolhouse. The road to the right leads right into the village. There are no shops or hotels in the village, but there's a bus service into the town. I'll finish off with some single shots of the village itself.